Hi everyone, welcome to our Zoom chat, our Zoom interview today. I'm interviewing Andrea, and Andrea has the most incredible story from our product and our program, and I know that she's going to inspire so many with it today. So perhaps you could just start by telling us where you were at before you jumped onto our program and what's been going on for you and what results you've experienced.
Yeah, sure. Hi, thanks for having me on today. It's great to be here. If I'd been here maybe 8 months ago, I would have been 16 kilos heavier. So for starters, that's been the major difference for me. But we'll go back a wee bit. I guess I've been unhealthy for about 11 years. Got diagnosed with an autoimmune disorder after my second child. So that was nearly 12 years ago. And I guess the plethora of medication that I had to take meant that I found it really difficult to lose weight. So taking prednisone, which is a steroid, which makes you put on weight. And I tried various different diets over the time because I didn't want to be overweight. And I think that my quality of life just went downhill after getting diagnosed with rheumatoid arthritis. It was the autoimmune condition that I've had. And I've also got an underactive thyroid. So that's not very helpful either for weight loss. So I have tried a couple of different things over time, but they're not sustainable at all. And last year was really tough for me. I found that I was sweating at the thought of hanging out my washing, and then I'd go and hang out my washing, and I would literally break into a sweat. I'd have to come back inside, sit on the couch, and probably spend an hour recovering from just doing housework. I hire a cleaner because I couldn't do the housework, and I started to get a little bit of anxiety and depression, which kind of kicked in around the same time that my mother, who's got Huntington's disease, her symptoms got a lot worse, and I started to think that maybe because it's a genetic disorder, so I started to think, well, maybe I'm exhibiting some of these symptoms, and I had depression and a few other things were kind of kicking in. So I was like, I'm sure I've got Huntington's, and my mind just went over time. So then I just put on more weight, so I'd eat food for emotional support. Amazing how we think food's our friend, isn't it? So I just was really toxic and really unhealthy and had sugar in pretty much every mouthful that I ate. And then it really came to a head for me, I guess, when I went away with all my high school friends for a really great 40th kind of birthday reunion at Christmas time. And I knew that I was the heaviest I'd ever been. And I'd been at school with all these friends when I was a lot smaller, and just being around them, and they haven't put on weight like I've put on weight, and I felt like it just stared me right in the face, and I had a wee cry. And I guess when I really realised where I was at, I thought I need to do something about this. And of course, had a summer camping, and found it difficult to enjoy camping because I was overweight. Going swimming, playing sports with the kids, I just found that I was in my armchair camping a lot. Regretting having to get up and cook meals even, because I didn't want to do that. So in January, when I got back from camping, my friend Claire mentioned that she'd found some amazing nutritional support in an amazing program, which was the JBT program. And she said that there was an 8-week shred coming up. So I just knew, I was like, this is it. I've got to do this. I've got to start a whole foods lifestyle. And I know simple, small changes are really important, but I knew I needed to do it all. I knew I needed to add some nutritional support, increase my fruit and veggie intake, and go whole foods, and particularly cut out the refined sugar and the dairy and the gluten, because they're all really big aggravators for arthritis. And I knew that I was poisoning my body, giving my body no chance of ever getting better from arthritis if I was going to poison it with all their rubbish.
Yes.
So the JBT program totally made sense to me.
Yeah, amazing. And so obviously it's been, did you say, how many months did you say you've been?
I started at the start of the last shred, which was at the start of February.
Yeah, okay. So, yeah, awesome. So about eight months or so. And so obviously 16 kilos, congratulations. That's a huge transformation. I'm sure everybody's telling you all the time how amazing you look. And obviously you've had a symptom reduction as well then. Can you share a little bit more about that?
Yeah. So since then, and it's a combination, I'm sure, of the great nutritional support we have, as well as the whole foods that I've been eating. They've really worked in conjunction with one another. But I had tendinitis in my ankle, so it really hurt whenever I stood up in the morning particularly, but even during the day. And the tendinitis is completely gone. I can do any kind of exercise now with no pain. I still take my arthritis medication, but I'm reducing it. So I've been on 7 milligrams of prednisone for for 11 years, and it's increased occasionally when I've had flare-ups. I'm down to 3 currently with no symptoms creeping back in. And my pharmacist forgot to pack methotrexate in about March or April, and I just took it as a sign. All right, you forgot to pack my whole month's worth of methotrexate. Right, I'm coming off it. So I've been fine without taking that as well. So I've reduced quite a lot of my medication. Coming off methotrexate meant I could come off folic acid, and so I'm just on a little bit of prednisone and some thyroxine still, and I hope to be off my medication by Christmas, or at least off the arthritis medication. Because I'm really sure that the whole food, I'm just really sure that it's nutrition based.
Yeah, absolutely. I have an autoimmune condition as well, and what I eat triggers it. So when I'm eating really healthy, I don't have any joint pain, I'm fine. But if I go out and have too much fun, I can feel it in my body immediately. But what I love about you being able to reduce your medication is, obviously we need medication sometimes, and it is life-saving at times. But if we don't need to be on it, it definitely reduces the toxic burden in the body, and it's a lot healthier to live without it. So you just don't know the impact that has in years to come on your body. The fact that you're able to reduce that so dramatically, it's just amazing.
Yeah, I'm totally excited about coming off the medication, and I think that obviously now I can do absolutely anything. If I think I've got to get the dishes, I just stand up and go and do the dishes. So these are the kinds of things now. I don't have any mental blocks about doing things. I don't crave sugar as much. I've just got a whole lot more energy. I sleep better. And I guess probably two of the main things, apart from the weight loss, that I've really loved is the mental clarity. I feel super sharp, like I can just do anything, anytime. I feel like I've got a lot going on in my brain, but that I've got the capacity to have a lot going on in my brain. And I can have, finding I can have later nights, like I'm really enjoying my business, so it's really easy for me to have late nights, and but I'm finding I can last now, so I can have 4 or 5 late nights and not get sick, whereas I used to have 2 late nights in a row and I'd be down and out for 6 weeks because my immune system's rubbish. So now it's not rubbish, now it's great.
It's amazing how what we put in our body every day, how much it impacts how we think, how we feel, how we function. It's one of
everything.
Yeah, it's amazing. And so I'm sure that this has had a dramatic impact on your family life because you're happier, you're healthier, you feel better. Because I know when I don't feel great, I'm cranky mum. Whereas when I'm feeling really good and, doing my exercise and eating well, I'm a lot happier for my husband and my children. So how has it impacted the family?
Yeah, I think that my kids are just really proud to see me having done something and done it for a long time, and they can see it's sustainable, and they really enjoy the foods that I cook, which is great. I remember the day that my son, I walked inside, my son goes, "Mum." Yeah, and he goes, "You just ran up the steps." And I was like, "What?" I didn't even realise I'd run up the steps, but I usually trudge up the steps, but it was like I literally just skipping up them now. So just things like they notice that, and then they feel really good. They themselves are choosing better food, so their lunch boxes are looking amazing. They're almost, quite often they can be all just fruits and veg, not even a sandwich, so that's pretty cool. But my relationship with them is a lot better. I just I used to get really wound up. I found I had low tolerance for any misbehaviour. And I literally felt like my mothering was behaviour management, that I wasn't actually a mother. So now I'm finding there's less behaviour management and I can just enjoy their company more. I've got more energy to do whatever it is that they want to do, lots more family walks. And my husband's got bubbly wife back who's happy and enjoying life. I think though it's really, really interesting because there's a really positive shift having a bubbly wife. But he was used to just having me available on the couch, there all the time. And now I'm like out and about and seeing people and happy and cheery. And it's like, I never get to see my wife anymore. So I have to kind of bring it back a bit and go, all right, that's right. He's used to that. And now he's got this. And it's a bit of it's an adjustment period, right?
Well, hopefully you can rub off on him a little bit too.
So it's a good problem to have.
Look, and this is, the impact even on just your relationship with your kids, like that's a lifetime impact. You just don't ever underestimate how much of a difference that makes in their world, you showing up in that way. So, and so just to finish, I'd love for you to share, you know, what has been your favorite part about the program? How have you found it?
I think the program is really simple, and my favorite part is that it's not about counting calories, it's about counting vitality. And now when I go out, I can just look at something and it's like, is this real food? If it is, I'll eat it. I don't have to think about how much of it I'm eating, monitoring anything that I'm eating. It's just literally, if it's real food, eat it. So I find that just really easy. I don't even need to read packets, because if it's in a packet, it's not real food.
Yeah.
No packets. Quick round the supermarket, don't go through any of the centre aisles except for toilet paper, and you know, just there's all sorts of I find it just very easy, and it just flows, and it's easy to talk to other people about because it makes sense. It's not like something that you have to you know, follow to the T and get out books and get out coding books. I don't know, just very easy.
The simplicity of just eat real food, right? Then you don't have to think about anything else. If you're just eating real food, you don't have to worry about packets and calories and all that stuff.
Yeah, I like the variety of the program, and I like that the kids all really enjoy all of the things that are in there. I'm getting to try new foods and new flavours. And the only downside, I'll always find a little wee downside, the always interesting downside. The only downside my husband's found is that because I'm cooking so much fresh food, I know that the program has lots of cooked food, but there's nothing in the freezer for him. I actually live in 2 cities. I live 2 weeks in Nelson and 2 weeks in Wellington to facilitate shared care with my children. And when I'm away in Nelson and he's without me for a week, he likes to open the freezer and have like macaroni cheese and lasagna. And there's none of that anymore.
Oh, you have to teach him how to cook. Love that. Well, I thought I might quickly show everybody what's in the program to wrap it up, just in case you're interested. So we have our JBT lifestyle guide, and these are all of our real food tips and recommendations so that you never have to diet or calorie count ever again. And I think that's my favorite part about the program, is you really will never have to go on another diet ever again if you implement some changes. And then we have our recipes. These are just 2 of the recipe books here, but we have so many, and they're full of chocolate recipes and healthy KFC and healthy burgers, so that you never feel like you're missing out, because if it's not enjoyable, it's not sustainable, right? It's got to be delicious. And so we also have our optional cleanse. We have our children's cookbooks, so how to transform fussy eaters into children who consciously and happily fall in love with whole food, which I think is one of the greatest gifts that we could ever give our children for their future health. And then we have our other little resources like our pantry guide, our meal guide, our exercise journal, and then you did mention the shred component before. We do have an optional 8-week challenge, and that's for those who really do like those markers where, you know, they can get excited about an 8-week transformation and then plug back into the lifestyle guide. Any other words you wanted to finish up with?
No, I just think that if people are considering whether they, you know, wanted to do the Juicy Body Transformation Program, I think, and especially if they're thinking about their families, it's totally doable for the whole family. And just like you said, you know, the husbands like it, kids like it, it's totally achievable. And I think whether you've got 1 kilo to lose or whether you've got no kilos to lose and you just want to change your lifestyle, I think that this can be, you know, a real game changer for your health. So totally go for it.
Thank you so much for your time and sharing your story with us. And yeah, you keep us up to date with your progress.
Thank you, Kira, for writing such an amazing program and sharing it with everybody.
You're so welcome. Thank you.